Y'all know what it is. It's the Find the Boxer game. Purchase a box for a chance at winning $500. One of 54 boxes has a missing boxer inside. Purchase your box or boxes by Cash Apping $ usual 50/50. Include your box number, name, and email address. Your box number will be confirmed and sent directly to your email. Each box is $20 with a 1 in 54 chance of winning. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Y'all know what it is. It's the usual suspect 650/50 draw. Buy your tickets now for your chance at winning half the pot. Cash App, $ usual 50/50. Tickets are on sale for $10 for one, $20 for 3 tickets, and $50 for 10 tickets. Put your desired amount, name or alias, as well as your email address, and your tickets will be set. We announce the winning ticket numbers every other Friday on Supreme Beats Boxing Talk Bullshitting on the Beltway, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Flex, the livest one in the section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga, boo. I'm an 88 pack nigga, boo. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar.
Yeah, come on!
Listen, man, I was actually going to take today off. You know, big brother Stormy's at work today. I'm doing something with the family later. So I'm like, man, you know, I'm going to take the day off. Until last night. I actually had to catch the replay of the event. And when I was done doing what I was doing yesterday, you know, I turned on my brothers who are commentating live. And I start seeing everything in this chat talking about an assault that took place. And I'm like, what is going on? What happened? So, of course, I turn on BFTB and they're talking about it. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Then I see the general and I'm like, whoa, what happened? What happened? Well, well, this Negro done showed his behind. Father's Day is this month. Where I live, they're having like a barbecue, and they said, now check this out. I'm gonna take a picture of it. And I'm gonna show it. Every time I'm walking into my building, I'm like, you know what? I want to rip this damn thing off the damn. You know why? It says Mother's Day / Father's Day or whatever, barbecue, something. And I'm looking at it like, why are y'all inserting mothers into a Father's Day? On Mother's Day, I don't see single fathers running around saying, I'm the mother too. Yo, we just can't have nothing. The system has been trained literally to disrespect men. Y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't care. The bad things that are done are put under a magnifying glass, and it's amplified into the biggest things in the world. All these ain't-ish dudes, they get to procreate because you stupid-ass women choose these dudes. And me saying that at the top of the show, this is all relevant because these three niggas right here is a product of that. And you know why I'm bringing it up? And I'm skipping the roll call this morning. I see y'all. But I got to get to this because I was going to take the day off and I have to address this. The only reason why I'm bringing this up is because of this.
And the father can get it. The father can get it too. I don't have DB3, we don't even have that. We don't even know what that is. We don't have that. We don't have a father. We don't need that. Davis brothers versus the Vargas brothers. We don't have that. We don't have a fuck. We don't need that. We don't have that. We don't have a fuck. We don't have that. We don't have a fuck. We don't need that. We don't need that.
Now let me say something, man. That wasn't even on my damn mind. That wasn't even on my mind until he said it. You understand? And I said, whoa, forget about I want to fight the Vargas brothers. Why is he letting everyone know that he's fatherless and he don't need no male structure in his goddamn life? That's why I started saying that about him. Like, whoa, what's that? And the father could get it too. So let me get this straight. You're mad at the Vargas boys because Fernando's in their life? Y'all don't even know who their mother is. Y'all don't even know who Fernando Vargas' wife is or whatever's going on there. You know why? I'm assuming she plays her position out of the public eye, taking care of the men and raising men, participating with the father, leading the household. But you see this monkey business right here? This is the direct result of a father not beating their ass because they love them. This is what it is. Probably didn't understand that growing up. And I'm not talking about abuse because you know what happened? They gave these little motherfuckers a 1-800 number. Anytime you discipline your kid, they go to school to him, oh, he told me to clean my room. I said no. And he grabbed me by my arm and said, clean my room. Now them people coming to knock on your door. Abuse. No, I told this little motherfucker clean his room. What are you talking about? They're not even allowing you to raise your damn kids anymore. And these mothers, the single mothers, yeah. Y'all do the best y'all can. But you know what happens with these little boys? They get a little older. Around 14, 15, they get a little stronger. Then they want to test their waters. Yo, clean your room. Ma, get out of here. What you mean get out of here? You can't put him out? What are you going to do, put him out, change the locks? He going to go to authorities. He's going to be right back in. We're going to do turn his phone off, take away his Xbox. Going to turn to the street and get all those materialistic items. When you unplug them, boom, you lost control. Now you want to run and go find his daddy. I can't take it no more. Y'all don't know that's what Boys in the Hood was? Y'all remember Boys in the Hood with Ice Cube, Cuba Gooding Jr.? Morris Chestnut, remember that? You know what that was? She couldn't take Trey. He needed male structure. That's what Boys in the Hood was about. And Doughboy and his brother, They didn't have no male structure. They don't need that. They don't need that. We don't even know what that is. You saw how they ended up, right? One was on the straight and narrow. The other one was in the streets. Both dead. Y'all didn't know that's what Boys in the Hood was about? That was the major message in that film. Structure. And these three niggas right here have none of it. And what they're gonna do as of today, this morning, this is gonna be the spotlight of black boxers, young black boxers. They're gonna totally ignore Bill and Devin. They're already they try to destroy those brothers every day. And I'll get to the super chats in a bit. Just give me a minute, bro. And salute to you, LBZ. Salute to you. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Oh, we're not even dealing with the bullshit. Look. Extra glazing, stop hating. Fuck you and your daddy that you don't know. Anybody that comes in here and defends this nigga nonsense, block them. Because y'all don't know y'all fathers. Your mama was a cum dumpster. Yes. Your mama was a side chick. Let me tell you how this goes. Let me tell you how this goes. And you goddamn right I'm hating, because I hate to see young men grow up like this. This is love. This is love. Miss Joette, you're a side chick, and you're raising side chicks. You have a daughter that's watching you, and you're getting raised. You're raising your daughter in that image. The side chick, if you don't know who your father is, your father don't live in the house, guess what? Guess what? Your mama was a side chick. How does that feel? Let that marinate. Let that marinate. How does that feel? Think about what I just said. If you don't know your daddy, your mama was a side chick. Think about what I just said. If your daddy ain't died fighting for the country, if your daddy's in jail, and your mama was never married to your daddy, your mama was a side chick. Let that marinate. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Now, y'all can come in here and try and defend this shit. I got too much life experience. I've seen this. I got friends that come from two-parent households like myself, and I got friends that did not. There was a fundamental, looking back, you don't notice it when you're growing up, but looking back, there's a fundamental difference. We're all old men now, and they acknowledge, hey, man, that's a problem. That's a problem. They knew. They clung to my dad. And all my other friends that had fathers, they were going to work in the morning, coming home late at night. They see us outside. My father and the other fathers would talk to the fatherless kids. Hey, man, how y'all guys doing in school? Everything's good in school? My dad asking, hey, man, your friend across the street, how's his Christmas looking? Yes. You know why? It takes a goddamn village. There is no village. You just saw the niggas in here just now that I had the block. They have no concept of what the village is. And they're going to call this hating. This is love. Because if I knew Keyshawn and if I was there, you know what I would have did? I'd have grabbed him me. Key, don't do that shit. Your baby's there. Key, get over here. What the fuck you doing? Don't do that. Don't do that. Your brother got his ass whooped. Get it back in blood in the ring. This shit here, you don't do that. When Zab Judah lost to Costa Zoo, he had a meltdown in the ring. He attacked Jay Nady. He's throwing chairs. Do y'all remember who stopped him? Yoel, his father. His father. Do y'all remember that? Salute to Abdullah Mason. When asked, you can tell, when they put the camera in his face, you can tell the difference in upbringing. You can tell. That man is well-spoken. That kid, he's a kid. Well, he's still, I don't even know if he could grow facial hair for Pete's sake. What's going on? He's a baby. But they put the mic in his face. He was speaking very articulate, and they asked him. They said, hey, what do you think about what the Davis brothers did? He said, no comment. Trolls in there heavy today because, you know, it's Sunday. They should be spending it with their dad. I mean, I guess not. And salute, Dion. And see, the dumbasses in here, quick to defend this nigga nonsense, they don't know that this is tough love. Now, Abdullah Mason said, I ain't got no comment on that. But did you hear what he said? He said, my brother's right here. We don't do that. So he didn't cut down Keyshawn. He didn't cut him down. He said, I have no comment on it. But my brothers and I don't do that. My family right here. All the niggas coming in here trying to disrupt, they can't stand it because they identify with this monkey shit. This right here. Let's sum up. Let's sum up. And I saw the clown coming in here talking about pillow fist. I'm talking about all fathers, but of course, you know, you want to bring up Bill and Dev. Let's talk about it. I'll never see Devin Haney do this. As a matter of fact, when Ryan Garcia cheated Devin, at the end of the fight, Henry and Bill went to shake hands, and you know who got in the middle of that? Bernard Hopkins, a fatherless prick himself, a convict, a felon, whom we showed unconditional love to until fairly recently. Right or wrong? What's pissing me off is that Keyshawn Davis, who's the face of this clan right here, literally messed up his bag and showed the world that all this right now, it's a shitstorm on social media. This is all over Instagram, and I just go and check the comments. The first comment I see, you know what they do on Instagram, usual suspects button. 16,000 hearts. You see what I mean? Because they look at this and they say this is all of us. They don't look at Bill and Dev and say that's all of us. They look at this. They don't look at Jack and Shane Mosley and what they were doing. They'll bypass all of that and look at this. They don't look at Abdullah Mason, who fought on the same night and was victorious. They'll skip right past that and go to this nigga. Are you kidding me? But niggas want to come in here and talk about, this is even about Bill and Dev. This is about the lack of leadership, father leadership. And you in here making it about Bill and Dev. Talk to me about Jack and Shane Mosley. Oh, wait, hold on. You don't want to talk about black fathers? Okay. What about Julio Cesar Chavez and his son? Chavez is a legend. Country loves him, right? It's not our fault. It's not his fault that his son is underachieving, although he's about to get a major bag fighting Jake Paul next. But he did the best he could. What about Fernando Vargas and his sons? Want to leave black out of it? Leave black out of it. I'm looking at the difference in the Vargas boys and these three motherfuckers right here. Let's tell some truth here. I'm not in the business of defending these niggas. I'm not. Let's talk about, I'm hating on Keyshawn. Okay. He has a no contest on his record for weed. How irresponsible is that? Let's keep it on black people today now. Huh? No, fuck that. Wait a minute. Nobody knows tragedy more than Caleb Plant. And if you don't know, look it up. I'll say it one more time. Nobody knows tragedy, personal tragedy, more than Caleb Plant. And I don't see him doing this. This is ridiculous. This nigga has a no contest because he can't stop smoking weed. Explain that. But I'm hating though, right? Call me a liar though. I was disappointed then. I said, man, why this brother doing that? The fuck? Why? Why? Why would you do that? All's forgiven, right? So we left it alone. This nigga, he didn't come in a quarter of a pound, a half a pound overweight. His face didn't look suck in. He didn't pay the price in camp. You know what this nigga does? He comes in 5 pounds overweight and is flexing on the scale like he did something. He didn't even try. Salute to Edwin De Los Santos for saying, man, fuck that, man. I ain't doing this. And by the way, in his explanation, his camp said, yo, we saw what happened with Devin and Ryan, meaning weight. They didn't say he was on a narcotic. They said weight. Weight matters. You know what? Forget that for a minute. Ask Miguel Cotto about weight not mattering or not. For those of you Johnny-come-latelys, and you can stop me anytime. You in here trolling, you can stop me anytime when you feel I'm lying. Miguel Cotto was the WBO welterweight champion at 147 pounds. For those of you that don't know what weight welterweight is. When he fought Manny Pacquiao, for some bugged out reason, he was the B-side. And the stipulation in that contract was he had to come in on fight night at 145. That's why he lost. Weight matters, but he played his position because he was the B-side. But he was the champion, but the B-side. That was over a decade ago. Where were y'all a decade ago? I was here, not on YouTube, but I was around for that. And I see the super chats. I'll get to them later. I appreciate y'all. I'll read them later. I'm just cooking right now. I appreciate y'all. Weight matters. 3 pounds on at the weigh-in could easily turn into 15 to 20 pounds the next day. Oh, Drew, that's impossible. You motherfuckers tell me that Devin Haney's a weight bully. Oh, he be 15 pounds on fight night. All right, cool. I just told you. 3 pounds over at the weigh-in could be 15 pounds the next day. Now y'all don't want to believe it? But here's my question. When has Devin Haney ever missed weight? If the contracted weight was 135, he made weight on fight at the weigh-in. If y'all put a stipulation and say, yo, Dev, don't come in no more than 7 pounds on fight night, he'll do it. Y'all have no reason to say he wouldn't do it because he's done everything. He's given us everything. And y'all still got shit to talk. Well, you know what? While y'all talking, talk shit about him. These 3 niggas right here. Talk your shit. Because Keyshawn's been wrong across the board. And I understand Kelvin was trying to get in between them and calm them down. But you know what, Kelvin? Sorry, but not sorry. You're guilty by association. As a matter of fact, they might have different fathers. I'm dead serious. He don't look like his other 2 brothers. But whatever. Whatever. And what I'm saying is that's an issue in itself. Does anyone know, was their mother married? Do you know? Do you know? These chicks be having 4 kids from 4 different dudes, and they want a dude over 6 feet tall, have a 6-pack, above 6 inches in the pants, and then making 6 figures. Meanwhile, you're 4'11", fat as fuck. You take your bra off, your titties hit the goddamn ground. You walking across your apartment, seeing sparks and frictions, your shoes linked over, and you want public assistance, but your hair done. And you got the black and mild lips. And these are our queens? You slaves are out your cotton picking mind. You better get out of this bullshit. You queens chose Uncle Sam over having a husband in the fucking house. And they've trained you to make you believe, oh, grandpa was just beating on grandma. Bullshit. Because the other side to that is a lot of y'all got uncles that were cousins, right? And what y'all don't know is your uncle
and your daddy got two different daddies. Because mama was banging on the milkman. That's what they don't talk about. And if you're from the South, you know exactly what I'm talking about. My roots is from the South. We just moved up here, up to Harlem. And from Harlem came to the Bronx. I know what's going on. And the ladies were not so innocent. Trust me, they weren't. They put the power in these queens' hands, and look what they did with it. Decades later, I could do battle by myself. Over 300,000 women lost their jobs since January. How's that for being a boss bitch? I don't want to turn this to pep talk, but this is all relevant. Leadership. When Zab went bonkers in that ring, Yoel stopped him. Floyd Mayweather Sr. played in the streets. He was out of line, and look at Floyd now. He's so stupid, he don't count his blessings, but look at him, look at his character. He has none. He's a cartoon character. Nobody takes him serious. As a man, hell no. Phenomenal athlete. And here we are with Keyshawn Davis, and it's happening at an accelerated rate. And instead of his fan base holding him accountable, saying, Key, stop this, man. We love you, brother. Stop this. They in various chats saying, oh, you a hater. You a hater, but Bill, but Devin. No, talk about this nigga. He may have just thrown away millions of dollars. How y'all feel about that? That's Turkey's fault? Let me ask you a question. You run $1 million corporation like Top Rank. Leave race out of it. Leave Bob Arum's old school race ass out of it. Do you invest in this nigga here? You already know how Bob views us. He had Floyd, he fucked it off. He had Bud, he fucked it off. He signs Keyshawn, he's doing everything that he wanted everyone else to do, have a big mouth, sell himself, because he's the promoter, but he wants you to promote yourself. Now you get your ass over there, and you start acting like every bit the nigga that he knows you are. But everyone's going to look at Abdullah Mason and find a problem. Everyone's going to look at Brian Norman Sr. and they find a problem. They look at Bill Haney and they find a fucking problem. I'm looking at him, and the problem is they have no male structure, no fucking leadership. None. None. And only the niggas that don't have fathers, that identify with this nigga nonsense, they don't see a problem with what he did. He better hope there's something, he better hope there's nothing in those contracts. Now, I don't know. I haven't seen them. I don't know. But if there's anything in these contracts that says we can release you due to unbecoming behavior, and that's broad, he has a problem. Because if he's released, I don't know how this is going to work out with Saudi. You know, look, Turkey Out of Sheik signed Ryan Garcia after that rant. He better hope this is water under the bridge, because Bob Arum's connected. And if he lets him go, and look, this is how ESPN Boxing's going to go out. I don't know what exactly is their last event that they're going to air, but this is how they're going out. This dude doing this. This is how y'all want to remember Keyshawn doing this? Never. Now, if I'd have said, oh man, I saw this coming, I'd be wrong. But let's look at the facts. He has a no contest because he couldn't put down the blunt. He didn't make weight. He didn't care. De Los Santos got paid his full purse. He didn't. He's walking around a goddamn event last night, eating popcorn and trolling, looking stupid, right? Then his brother gets his ass whooped, and he starts a goddamn fight in the back with his baby there. And the first thing I see on a boxing post on Instagram, some cracker talking about usual suspects button. Can I argue with him with that, though? Tommy Morrison doesn't do this. As a matter of fact, what's his name? I'm having a brain fart. What's his name? That the Irish kid that got cheated. Panama Lewis. What's his name? It was his father that touched the gloves. I said, wait a minute, yo, check these gloves, man. That's what my son's face looked like this. His dad caught that. That was the Connors, thank you. That was the reason. Billy Collins. That right there, that's the reason. Look, I'm telling you right now, if I'm like, yo, man, good fight, man. I touched the gloves, there ain't no padding in it. I'm throwing a punch. But guess what? That's more justified because that's attempted murder. Yo, bro, you tried to kill my son? What the fuck? 12 rounds of this shit? That's why his face look like that. This is murder, man. This attempted murder. And he didn't even do that. Your brother got his ass kicked. We saw it. It's boxing. Tell him to get it back in blood. Yo, bro, you're not resting. You taking a day off tomorrow, we going to the gym. Because you got to whoop his ass. No, you go in the back with your seed and you start a street fight? For what? For what? Because your brother lost? I was bugging when I saw the story. I'm listening to ESPN. They said, yeah, his baby's. I said, his baby was there? Let me ask y'all a question. Where was his mama?
What?
Where was Miss Davis? Where was Miss Davis? Yeah. Yeah. Dion, they don't look alike. I don't know if they have the same father. I just said that earlier. They don't, bro, I don't know. I'm not firing shots. What I'm saying is this is a dysfunction that's been in our community for years, and it's become normalized. Do y'all understand? It's not normal for a single woman to have multiple children from multiple different dudes, and she's single. But magically, the dudes are the problem. That's a problem in itself. That's a problem. And what you're seeing is this kid who's touching $1 million, and he may have fucked it off because he has no self-control. Obviously, his mama ain't teach him any better. She may have screamed at him. She may have punished him. But I keep telling y'all, there is no discipline better than a father's discipline. And y'all will never understand that. Some of you don't understand it because you never had that. And I'm not saying all men that come from single mother household turn out bad. No. What I'm saying is when it turns out bad, it's bad. And like I said, the few friends that I had that had single mamas, they had the village. They did have male structure. My best friend came up in the church. Pastor Baker lived in his house, lived in the building upstairs. Boom, there it is. Male structure is so important. That's what Boys in the Hood was about. Did y'all understand that? I remember going to see Boys in the Hood in the movies. And let me tell you how ignorant niggers are. All right? You ready? Peep this. I saw it when it came out. See, I'm that old. And I remember going to the movies and I'm watching it. To me, it's a tearjerker. The older I got, when you go back and look at it, you're like, man, that's a damn shame. But even when I was in my youth, I'm watching it. There was cats in there, oh man, this shit boring. Right? They were telling me, oh, it's boring. I'm like, man, I'm enjoying the story. I'm like, man, this is tragic. You know when the theater erupted? When Cube got that get back after they killed his brother. The theater erupted. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, do these niggas not understand that this is tragic? Cube's brother's dead. And in retaliation, they killed another 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. In unison, in a week, there was 4 deaths. And at the end, you found out that Doughboy got killed. No one factored in the character of the mother. She lost 2 sons. One was in the streets, one was not. In fact, he had a football scholarship, free ride through college. Dead in the street. And the nigga that you thought would get killed eventually got killed. You remember at the end? Fuck out of here, clown. It's that one clown. You off code because you're not defending Haney. Nigger. Capital ER. Ryan don't love you. Monkey. Simian. Ape. Knuckle dragger. This is why we can't get shit done. You got 3 good tires and that one flat in the back, boy. At the end, when you was watching Boys in the Hood and Cube started walking off and then he faded off and it said he was killed a couple of weeks later or whatever have you, I was like, oh my God. And that's how the movie ended. Tragic. But Trey, he got the blicky and he was riding with Doe, but he said, Doe, let me out because his father got in his head. His father got in his head and said, you know what? No, I can't do this. And Doe knew what it was. And at the end of the film, he told Trey, he said, nah, I ain't got no brother. And he didn't really have a good relationship with his brother until he was gone. He said, nah, I ain't got no brother. And for a split second, I'm like, man, that character's about to change. Nope, he walked off and you found out he got murdered too. And nobody factored in. Nobody factored in that mother lost 2 of her sons to street shit. Y'all even think about that? No. Because after the gunshots killed those dudes, the theater just went and shut the fuck up. And when the movie ended, a fight had the nerve to break out in the theater I was in. I said, you know what? And as a matter of fact, that night was the last time I went to the movies at night. I caught matinees ever since then. I said, I'm not doing this no more. I'm not doing this no more. I'm not. Because it's always us. Y'all monkeys are well trained. I see y'all in the chat. I see the monkeys in the chat. Y'all like this shit? Oh man, lawsuits is soft. You don't sue people. Get it back in blood. Well, he got his ass whooped, right? Keyshawn, leading the charge, should have been like, bruh, Monday, we hitting the gym. You got to run that back. No, he goes to the locker room and start headbutting niggas. But lawsuits is soft, right? Salute to Brian Norman. My brother Steve L. Yep. Look what Brian Norman says. I would sue everybody. Let me explain something to you. This is how grown people handle business. This ain't school where you get into a little fist fight. You might get suspended for a couple of days. I've been there, done that. You know, shit get real once you like in high school. And when you get into that fight and you really bust somebody up, the police is there. It's not, you know, it's school safety now. But back in the day, it was Board of Ed security or whatever it was. They just come and separate y'all, put a little ice pack on the person you beat up, and you go on back to class. I've been suspended 3 times from school for fighting. Fine. Fine. But shit got real when the police showed up one time. And I was like, oh, man. They're like, yo. Teacher was like, yo, you don't know you can get arrested for what you did? Yo, he said this and then he did this. And they don't care. He's fucked up. He's going in the ambulance. You just got a little busted lip. But he went to the hospital. And then it dawned on me. I said, yo, I could get arrested. Luckily, it ain't turned out like that. Jackie, be quiet. You're a child. Don't start no shit this morning. Don't. And I'm not telling you who to root for. But see, this is the problem that I'm saying. This is the issue. Keyshawn could be your favorite. But how do you think the rest of the world is viewing him? And justifiably so. He put himself in a position where he could be sued, and he's just about to touch $1 million. Now, who would Keyshawn do better listening to? Me or you? Because what you're doing is enabling him. I'm not going to enable these niggas. Where their father has failed them, whether he's dead or in jail or chose not to be around, the village is supposed to uplift these young men if they want to be uplifted. He don't want no uplifting. He just said, we don't need that. We ain't got no fathers. So shut up and learn something. There's something called accountability. And Jackie, right now, you sound like your mama's raising you. Because unless your father's a street nigga, if he knew the whole story surrounding this kid, he would not, and I repeat, he would not justify anything he did last night. This is embarrassing. Because you know why, Jackie? Who are they going to run to see if we hold them accountable? They ain't going to white channels. They're to come right here. The channels that are talking about, oh man, hey man, you know, this kid's good. And you know, BFTB just got done saying, hey, you know, Keyshawn's growing on me. He was talking about boxing. Bing, bing, bing. In one night, he threw it all away. He threw it all away. This is dumb shit. This is dumb shit. He threw it away. Jackie, you tell me what if Bob Arum, this is ESPN is done with boxing. This year they're done. This is how they're going out. This, the main event, couldn't make weight, didn't even start to make, he didn't even try to make weight. Didn't even try. And y'all be patient with Jackie because he's an admitted child. He's a teenager. I'm teaching you something. You tell me what business is going to take a risk. It's a risk. Everything you do in business should have an ROI, a return on investment. What is your return dealing with Keyshawn Davis right now? Right now, everybody at 135, 140, 147, they can say, hey, man, I don't want to deal with that. I could whoop him or his brother's ass, and I got to worry about being in the locker room, and they're going to bombard the goddamn locker room, and I got to get security to ward them off. Get the fuck out of here. Let me ask you a question. You don't think niggas is looking at Bud? Uh-oh. Let's go there. And salute to Brian Norman. He said, I would sue everybody. This is grown man shit right here. You don't have to lift a finger. Sue them. Fuck that. Beating them up is easy. If you know what I mean? People, I could whoop their ass for what? I'm not trying to get locked up for nobody. And if they do something foul, I'll take legal action. You sock it to their pockets. You ain't got to fight everybody. Just like you ain't got to fuck every bitch. Just because she's throwing pussy at you, you ain't got to lay up with her. That could be a problem. Pregnancy, STD. You young men lack self-control. Now, Bud. This is Bud's man, right? So is Shakur, right? And Bud is supposed to be the big bro. He's the big bro. He's not their father. So I'm not going to put that on him. He's not their father. But I'm already reading people. Ain't that Bud's man? Bud's name is coming up. In other words, what I'm saying is, this is not his issue, but there's something called guilty by association. You are who you hang around. And once they do something fucked up, you absolutely have to distance yourself from them. You can love them, but love them from a distance. Lord, I got family in Illinois. I got family in St. Louis, in Mississippi. I got cousins that are not invited to the family reunions. You know why? They're in the streets. I barely talk to them on the phone. They're in the streets. And they know to stay away. Fuck out of here. Gotta love them from a distance. That unconditional love shit, I'm beyond that. Cause I overlooked a lot of shit that this nigga did. This is one of them. I held him accountable for it, and I said, okay, as long as I acknowledged it. But he is too old to be acting like this. And this is after Ryan's drinking in this picture. This is after Ryan popped dirty, after the racist outburst. Him and Shakur still got on there and started laughing and joking with him, talking about a fight. I'm like, excuse me, y'all don't know what this dude did and what he said? No, you know what it is? They don't give a shit because it doesn't affect them. Now, Jackie, if this is your favorite fighter, I ain't trying to deter you. But look at what you're representing. This represents you. I didn't have a problem with his in-ring performance. But goddamn it, when your out-of-ring performance spills into what you're doing in the ring, I can't overlook all of this. No, I'm not. I'm not going to brush this off like, oh, this is just a little thing. He young. Fuck that. He's not young. He's a father. He could legally vote. He could legally drink. He could legally drive. This was a choice. This was no discipline. This was lack of self-control. And he didn't have discipline in fucking camp. You think niggas ain't looking at Bomac right now like, Bo, what the fuck? How he didn't make weight? How he didn't make weight? Bomac, or Bo's gonna say he was ready, strategically ready. I'm not a dietitian. He's not, and I'm not making jokes. He didn't care. He did not care. Now all you kids are talking about, oh, he's from the hood. He keep it for the hood. You know what happens? What if this was outside away from the building and Key ran up on him and somebody from the other camp had a legal carry and blew his face off? Then we'd be having a different conversation. But I'd be wrong saying, hold on. Sounds to me that was self-defense. Oh, but he's a boxer. He could afford a... No, listen, man. Boxers box in the ring. Would you fight a pro fighter? Knuckle up? I mean, I would based off the circumstances, but that's just me. But the majority of you niggas can't fight. I see what's going on social media. Y'all niggas don't even... Please, y'all can't fight. If a nigga my size, if a nigga Joe Joyce steps to you in the street and you have a legal carry, you automatically know your life's in danger. Are you fighting fair? No. You're going to pull out your legal carry and get the dumping. And depending on the situation, you'd be indemnified. If it's a justified shooting, you walk. George Zimmerman, right? This could have went so left. What if his opponent had one of those crash outs on his team? Everybody has one. I already told y'all about one of my boys. He was always on 10. He was always on 10, ready to fight. He wasn't the biggest nigga. He was just troubled. Had a father in his life. He was just wild. Found out later he needed medication when we got older. But he was nuts. What happens if his opponent had one of those people on his team? Oh, I ain't gonna fight Keyshawn. His brothers are there. They all fighters. And watch this. Bang, 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 bang. And now everybody dead. Oh, he shouldn't have shot him. Hey, man, hold on. They shouldn't have been in his locker room. They shouldn't have been there. And they went into the locker room looking for a goddamn fight. This is stupid. This is stupid. Anybody that justifies anything that these niggas did, don't talk to me. Unsub, leave, bro. For real. This is dumb. Because what happens here is that there's going to be a bunch of non-blacks coming to my goddamn channel asking, what's up with this? They do it all the time. Adrian Broner, Floyd Mayweather, now this nigga. Oh, why is Devin Haney dating a stripper? I don't know nothing about her. I don't care. Oh, now y'all don't want to talk about boxing. Then you find out it's a systematic effort to cut certain men down. And as black men, we shouldn't be doing that. But look at the alternative. Look at what you big up. The only difference between what these niggas did and what Tank Davis did to Devin, or tried to do, or y'all bigged up him going to a lounge or a restaurant and starting a ruckus with Devin. Something that he wasn't even trying to seal the deal. He wasn't even trying to seal the deal. But the amount of you niggas that jumped up and said, oh, he pulled Devin's whole card. I'm like, what happened? Oh, he stepped to him outside. I'm like, why is he stepping to him outside? First of all, he got a Frank Martin fight coming up, number one. Number two, something happened? And I said, okay. So I'm looking at the videos. I'm like, what is this? Okay. Devin's in the restaurant eating or some shit. And I hear Tank screaming. And then they outside. He's taking pictures by his car. Devin goes to the car. He's smiling at him, laughing at him. And Tank's looking like a fool. I'm like, well, where did he son him at? What happened? He's just looking stupid. You talked all that shit. Oh, when I see you with on site, whatever. Now, mind you, all of that, I don't co-sign that. But if you say you're going to do something, do it. And he didn't do anything. He's just outside screaming, looking stupid. I'm like, all right, but this is the shit y'all justify. That was hot news. And I said, blah, blah, blah. When he beat Frank Martin, if he beat him, he better call out Devin next. Did he do it? No. There goes that. There goes that. But you's a street nigga though, right? You know, what do we know about street niggas? Where did your father tell you street niggas end up? Put it in the chat, because all of you know it. Where do street dudes end up? 2 places. Put it in the chat. Because both my parents told me this. But my father was raising 2 boys. He needs to make sure that this was drilled into our heads. Where do street niggas end up? 2 places. Thank you. Dead or in jail. Dead or in jail. And if your mother didn't tell you that, she failed you. If you knew your daddy, if your daddy ain't tell you that, they failed. And if you was coming up and you didn't see that shit for yourself at the register, there's something wrong with you. You know, I did have a couple of friends. I remember we was outside. I was like maybe 16, 17. We in front of the building, and now it's like, man, we about to go to college. We about to do some real shit out here, man. Yo, and a couple of my boys was like, yo, man, I don't know. I have access to this brick, and I'm about to cut it up, and I'm just looking at them like, all right, whatever. These niggas start saying, yo, man, come on, man. You know how they living. You know, there was a dude, I ain't gonna say his name, and luckily he got out the game. Not before eating a bunch of bullets. 50 Cent ain't got nothing on him, but he's alive and well now. But we actually heard when it happened, and we was like, what was that? The next day we found out that, I mean, imagine, y'all remember the end of 300 when they killed King Leonidas? Imagine that shit happening to you, but you live. You know, dude's a pastor now, right? Because Jesus saved him. But moving on. Niggas was like, yo, man, you don't want to live like, yo, come on, man. You see how these niggas live? You know, they got the money and the cars and the bitches. Oh, man, I'm going to get all the bitches or whatever. You don't want to live? Come on, man. Come on. You don't want to live like that? I said, fuck no. Why? Yo, I know you don't see how those movies end. Scarface, Blow. Get your mind out the gutter. I'm talking about the drug movie, Miguel.
¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
Pillow biter. I know New Jack City. I know how all this shit ends. They're telling you in the movie. What the fuck? What's wrong with you? I know how this ends. What are you talking about? What? And of course, one of the motherfuckers went on to try and live his Tony Montana dream, and he's in prison right now. And the story I got was he was left holding the bag. He wasn't no boss, but he got caught with the boss's shit. That's the short story. Out there in Queens, he got caught with the boss's shit in the house by himself, and because he didn't snitch, they said, well, yo, bro, listen. There's hot guns in here, meaning guns with the serial number scraped off of them. There was a couple of stolen police firearms in there. No, not a couple, meaning two, a few stolen firearms, firearms with serial number scratched off, a ton of drugs, and his dumb ass in the house playing goddamn PlayStation. Police ran up in there. He's the only nigga in there, and because he didn't want to snitch, they're like, listen, all of this, we about to hit you with all of this. We know you ain't do this by yourself. We need names. He ain't say nothing. He in prison right now. When did the PS1 come out? Came out in the 90s, right? 96, 95, 96, whatever. He's in prison right now. It is 2025. He's in prison right now. Oh, well. How's that no snitching going for you? How's that working out for you? Byron said 95. Damn, he's in prison right now. They hit him with he had a few stolen police guns in there. In the house, they was like, oh, look at this gun, that gun, this drugs, oh, bricks underneath a bed. You up in there playing Tekken. Police came in there and locked his ass up. Yo, we know this ain't all you, man. Tell us who's doing this. He didn't say anything. They said, yo, you don't tell us something, you're gonna catch all of this. And he caught it. It is 2025. He's still locked up, bro. How do you like that? How's that no snitching? How's that working for you? How's that working for you? Dummy. Dummy. You don't want to live like Tony Montana? He got killed at the end. Yo, man, that New Jack, come on, man. Nino Brown, he got killed at the end. Yo, you saw Blow. He went to jail for life. He's still in prison. Unless he's dead. Oh, I get it. You want to be El Chapo. That man's on the run for the rest of his life. Dummy. How about get a good education and get a job and be normal? Start a business. Try and build a community. He was fascinated by that dude I'm talking about that ate all those bullets and lived. He was fascinated by the cars he drove and the women that hopped out of his whip. I knew better. A majority of my friends knew better. They're like, yeah, bro. Whenever he came into the loop, I was like, all right, we better move. Because we starting to see a lot of cars come through here we don't recognize. We don't know. And one day, we was in the basketball courts and we heard, we said, what the fuck was that? We was like, that's not fireworks. We left the courts and we went to, what was that? We went to somebody's crib, right? I go home. Next day, they said, yo, you heard what happened to blah, blah, blah. I was like, nah. I was like, yo, he got shot up. He in the hospital. He was like, yo, that was the hail of bullets we heard yesterday? Yep. Exactly, Byron. This motherfucker got fired on his day off.
You got to be a stupid motherfucker to get fired on your day off.
You're not fighting, you blew it. You're not getting paid, you blew it. Yo, listen, Edwin De Los Santos, I gotta get a hold of him, bro. Pause. I need a translator because he paid the price. He had a full camp. He was off for 2 years and made weight. He paid the price. Keyshawn didn't even try. Y'all ain't here talk about Devin? Holler at me when he misses weight. All y'all could assume is that he's a weight bully. Y'all don't know shit. You make the weight at the weigh-in, that's it. Only the IBF can say, yo, you can't come in no more than, 10 pounds heavier? Fine. Whatever weight you set, he'll make it. He's that professional. Next. This dummy, missed weight. 5 pounds. Shakur, missed weight. Tank, missed weight. Your favorites have missed weight. Your favorites have missed weight. But y'all still talking about Devin. Devin undisputed. Youngest undisputed. Gave Shakur an olive branch. Hey, I'll fight you. Drained and everything. He's gonna be drained. Remember he said that? You remember he said that? Still didn't take the fight. But Shakur's fans ain't saying anything. I'm like, yo, bro, he was supposed to take that, bro. Because you know what he did? Speaking of Edwin De Los Santos, you know what he did? He said, I know my worth. I don't care if it's for undisputed. I know my worth. He got in the ring and fought Edwin De Los Santos. And I enjoyed the performance. I said, man, Edwin got to cut the ring off. He got to stop this. If he can't stop it, Shakur ain't got to do anything different. And what does ESPN do? They show people leaving. They show people leaving the arena. You remember that? And I said, man, I got on here and I said, that's not right. Don't do that to that kid. That's what I said. I didn't say it was trash. I didn't say it was boring. I get why people say that, but I said that's not right. I said that. I said that. How'd that working out for you? Your biggest payday. First time on pay-per-view, a shot at a drained Devin Haney, a fight that he could have won. I didn't like that for Devin, but Devin's like that. All right, give me a second, I-Rock. Give me a second. Devin's like that. I said, this is what he want to do. We rolling. We rolling. He said no. Instead of holding Shakur accountable, what did y'all do? Y'all nitpick on what Devin did. Oh, Devin said he was going to stay at 135 to the end of the year. It was 2 weeks left in the month of December. What the fuck was he supposed to leave 135 exactly New Year's Eve? The hate is real. As you can see, there's one troll that keeps trying to come up in here. Nigger. There's nothing you can say or do. Time reveals all truth. This was bound to happen. And see, God ain't wasting time with y'all no more. You got all this shit to talk. How does he rebound from this? And I'm going to tell you right now. They're going to treat Ryan better than they're going to treat this monkey. And that's what y'all need to pay attention to. Ryan had a racist meltdown. F all niggas and Muslims, and I'm going to kill George Floyd and resurrect him again. And join the Ku Klux Klan. Turkey still paid him out. You know why? He said, what's 10, 20 million to expose this fool? And Ryan got in there clean and got outboxed and dropped by Rolly fucking Romero. What's 10 million? Turkey said, all right. It cost Turkey 20 million to expose that kid. Now, Keyshawn, he exposed himself. He exposed himself. He has no self-discipline because he didn't do the proper thing to make weight. He has no self-control because your brother got your ass whooped, and that's just a part of boxing. Your brother got his ass whooped, and with your baby, you go to his locker room to start a fight, man? What does this do for the Keyshawn Davis brand, for the DB3 brand? First of all, Keyshawn, I ain't see your ass get whooped like how your brother got his ass whooped. So obviously, I think he's the biggest talent amongst them. But if you have $1 million corporation, do you invest into DB3? I'll have none of it. I'm not. My man, my brother Iraq, I'm reading the text you just sent me. What? My brother. Yeah, we got to talk. When this is over, I'm going to give you a shout. My man. That's what's up. Those military points, they sure did play a role in that, right? Hell yeah, my man. You see, good news. Good news. I needed to hear that. I needed to read that. Now you see, you have a dick blower right here. Look, look, look. Look. Look, you see that? A dick blower. Keyshawn Davis could never be more successful than me. And I'll tell you why. If I was blessed in any business endeavor where I was cut a check anything over $500,000, there will be nothing on planet Earth that'll make me do what this dumbass did last night. Because what he did was potentially throw his brand in the garbage and his money in one night because he has no self-control. Like how you have no self-control. You have no self-control and you're making, how many channels did you make? Nigger? How many channels did you make? How many channels did you make? And you see, this is why, and I bet you this is nothing but a black person doing this. I just told you. It's nothing, it's always us. It's always us. So thank you for making multiple channels to be here. And by the way, that picture you have, that's a violation of community standards. Everybody take a moment to click on that name and report it. Because what's going to happen is that's a violation of community standards. And legally, if my brother BFTB chooses to get involved and deal with you, your government name will be leaked out because it'll become a legal issue. And everybody on this side of town will know it. Everybody. Everybody. This dude is just making channels. You know, I think I know who this is too, as a matter of fact. I think this is the nappy-headed knuckle dragger that I had up here. Made a complete fool of himself. So, Mr. Shelton. You in the chat, Mr. Shelton? Watch this, y'all. I don't know. It might not be. Press can't even form a sentence, man. I ain't worried about him. It was this other nigga I had up in here from South Suicide, Queens. Mr. Shelton, you in the chat? Why don't you do me a favor? Subscribers mode only. And you have to be subscribed for at least 5 days before you say anything. Now, I'm sorry. If y'all here finding me for the first time, you won't be able to type. But if this guy starts typing again, you know he's been subscribed to me the whole time on all of these stupid-ass channels. So if you haven't been subscribed to me for more than 5 days, you won't be able to type. Don't take it personal, please. Don't take it personal, please. But this should be a wake-up call. And let me give let me take care of my brother Byron real quick. You do that. And do me a favor. Head over to Pep Talk. Do the same thing. Thank you much. You see, that's how you handle the foolishness. No doubt, Byron. No doubt. Oh, you can't set it for more than 20 minutes? Okay, don't worry about that. Let me take care of that. Let me take care of that. Customization, subscribers only. Okay. Custom. Here we go. 5 days. Bow. There you go. See that there? See that there? See? This how you handle business. Now I'm gonna go to Pep Talk, do the same thing. Subscribers only. Custom 5 days. So now if he types something else, just know that his troll account, he's been following me this long and he's in his feelings. And damn, BFTB must really got you in your feelings, right? Why? Because he's on YouTube making a ton of money. Every time the brother clicks live, there's over 300 people in there. He has wonderful marathon live streams and you're there. And because you're a nigger, you have nothing productive to bring to the table. Not a goddamn thing. All you could do is try and disrespect Bill and Dev. Now, this nigger just said, oh, Keyshawn's more successful than me. What? Financially? Probably. But I wouldn't even throw my 6-figure job in the garbage doing something stupid like he did. So who's more successful? Guess what? I'm more successful. I got a dad. How about that? How about you? I got a dad. How about that? How about that? Let's start there. Now watch this. Watch this. Devin and Bill are more successful than your punk ass hiding behind a fake account. So I'm more successful than you. BF is more successful than you. Bill and Dev is more successful than you. And this loser with his goddamn brothers threw a bag in the trash. And guess what? Kelvin is trying to break it up, but sorry, Kel. You're guilty by association, bro. Delano, salute. You're guilty by association, bruh. How does that feel? How's that for success? I have a pension coming my way. How about you? I work for the city of New York since 1999. It is 2025. I have a really good pension coming towards me. Salary, retirement, benefits. I'm willing to bet my pension is going to be worth more in a month than what you make working your real job. Okay? And I'm still not saying I'm rich. I ain't running my head saying, oh, I'm a high value man. No. My children know me. I know my dad. My parents did a great job. How about you? Because I'm looking at these 3 niggas here on the screen. And shout out to the mother. I didn't see her, but god damn. Does she co-sign this? Has anyone threw the mic in her face? Because you damn sure love your mama and celebrate her. I saw a meme, and I'm going to do something with it too. He said, my mama got hands. Okay, she may have taught you to get tough. Talked you up. That's what she's supposed to do. But where did she go wrong for you to do that shit last night? Did she ever throw hands while holding you in her arms? Is that why you did that with your goddamn baby? You stupid ass. Your baby was there, man. Yeah, Eric J. Pensions are the way to go, man. Not everybody's going to be rich or wealthy, but we need to have something that's stable. Your rap career dreams not work out. Your acting career dreams not work out. You can multitask. I'm not saying to discontinue your dreams, but you also have to put food on your table, especially when you have a family. So if you can make time to pursue your dreams while getting a steady income, do that. Do that. For real. There's 24 hours in a day, and busy people know how to get shit done. Nobody works 8 hours a day. It's more. You don't factor in travel. I live close to where I work. But I'm driving a bus like about 12 hours a day. Seriously. I make great money. Especially living in New York, I make great money. My ribs ain't touching. My middle credit score is like 810 or something like that. I'm great. And I'm not running in the streets beating people up because they beat up my brother. I'm not doing that. If I did what I wanted to do every day when I went to work, I'd be in prison. Damn, man, why this bus so late? I ain't got nothing to say. I ain't paying my fare. Okay. My job is to drive this bus. Y'all bet you won't get at that seat. I bet you're right. I'll fuck you up. I will call the police, sir. I will call the police on you, sir. And there's cameras watching you. And you know who be talking to me? Little kids, little 16-year-olds, old men with canes. You know why? They know we make a lot of money. Because when you see that MTA patch on my right arm, when you look at it in the mirror, you know what it says? ATM. They think we're all rich. We're not rich. But God damn it, we're not broke either. You should see the car lot where I work. 2025s. You know who's about to retire. You know who got a full pension coming and their kids is groaning out the house. Because they're spending their money on themselves. You should see the lot. So I'm not flossing. I'm not rich. But damn it, I'm not broke. I make more money than motherfuckers that went and got degrees. Because guess what? They got degrees and some of my friends can't even use them. Hey, man, I'm not bragging. But you want to talk about success? You want to talk about success? I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a nephew. And everybody calls me every day to check on me, and I check on them. And when they need something, who's the point man? That's success. And I raise my seeds not to act unbecoming like this. I raise my seeds to understand what it is to be black in this world. No, everybody's not racist. But you have to understand when it's at your doorstep. You have to understand you're held to a different standard. That's success. So when I'm asking that troll is, where did Keyshawn's OGs or his mama, who you know his father ain't around, where did they fail? Because the focus is last night. And I'm talking about this monkey. And these motherfuckers come in and want to talk about Bill and Dev. Well, don't stop there. Talk about Shane Mosley and Jack Mosley. Don't stop there. Y'all want to talk about the Mason clan? All of those well-spoken brothers? I'm so proud of that brother. I can't wait to talk to all of them. You want to talk about them? Watch this. Gary Russell and his family. I ain't even seen them crash out like this. Do you know why? I know they have a mother because they exist. But who did we know? Their dad. And rest in power to to Batman. Rest in power to Batman. But when I spoke to the brother, and I'm just telling you what he said, I said, yeah, you know, because I used to talk to him behind the scenes. And I would say, hey, man, one thing is, he didn't tell me his government name, and I respect it. That's fine. And I said, well, you know, what do you do for a living? He said, man, I'm in these streets. Say no more. Because, you know, when I build relationships with people, not everyone lives in New York or, you know, whatever. But in case I'm coming through your city or whatever, I like to hit you up so we can, you know, I don't know, get some Starbucks, get a bite to eat, you know, whatever. Just chill for a minute. But Batman let me know without saying it when he said, I'm in these streets. Being online and talking and on phone conversation is about as far, maybe texting is about as far as it's going to go. You understand? That's about as far as it's going to go. Because he made the choice to what? Be in those streets. And I'm not talking down on my brother because that's my brother and I miss him. But we all know how that ended for him, y'all. And I'm being serious, man. I'm tearing up talking about this shit. Now, I don't know what was going on. I don't know what he was into. I don't know what he did. But I remember the fucking phone call I got that day. And I said, what? Are you kidding me? I literally called his phone, bro. Like, this ain't real. Yes. Grown-ass man with his child, he's in the streets. That's where the decisions got him, man. I don't know what's going on in the DMV. But then he had just buried a cousin. I said, what the fuck is going on with them? I don't know. But you made choices. He made choices, man. His brothers chose to be in the ring. You know why he wasn't a pro boxer? Do you know the story? He got shot in the leg. Choices, ladies and gentlemen. So there's a possibility you could have a father in good structure in your life, but when you become an adult, you make your own choices. And it breaks my heart, but this is the truth, man. But it's worse when you have no proper structure. And these three kids right here, these three grown adolescents have no structure. You can tell. Now, I know that this kid had problems. Keyshawn admitted he had mental problems or whatever. You know what, man? That goes so far with me, man. Do better, man. You had your kid, and I just gave you the scenario. He could have went up to that locker room and God, I'm having a brain fart, y'all. What you call that? Whooped on his brother's ass. He could have had one of those crash out dudes in the locker room on his team, just had a gun in the building. And while they over there trying to throw hands, somebody could have got shot. Could have been him, could have been his brothers, could have been his baby. You're putting all those people at risk. For what? For what? And at the end of the day, this ain't nothing but a bunch of niggas doing this. This is something to be proud of. You can look at this and say, oh, this is still my favorite fighter. You invited Allen Iverson and Shaq and Michael Vick, and this is, you didn't even get, they came to see you fight. You didn't even make the weight. You're walking through the damn audience eating popcorn. One of your brothers got their ass beat, and Mason steals a show, and you run behind stage and start a fight. Like the knuckle dragger you are. And all the racists are going to come here and say, well, they're going to check my channel and see, oh, let's see if this black channel is holding him accountable. I am. I always do. I will talk you up when you're doing right, but damn it, when you do something stupid, I'm on your ass. You think I forgot when you got on that live stream with Ryan Garcia, man? I just didn't want to talk about it anymore. And I knew they would show their ugly face. I knew it when I said, man, he ain't make weight. I said, man, ain't gonna be long now. The weed not making weight. I said, that's strike 1 and 2. Ain't gonna be long now. I ignored the Ryan Garcia shit. But y'all remember he got on his live, he started clowning Devin. And all these niggas that clown Devin when we thought it was clean, I knew it was coming, I don't mind. But then we found out he was dirty. None of these niggas said, oh, well, shit, he was on drugs. No, he gets on live and tries to make a fight with him. And they're laughing and kiki, ha ha. You and Shakur, your little brother, both you niggas ducking each other. What do you do now? If Turkey says, you know what, I'm not dealing with you. But Turkey, you promised me money. Turkey probably gave him a signing bonus. I don't know. But imagine if he got, let's say he got $5 million in his bank account right now. Let's say he got it sitting there. Let's say he got it sitting there, right? How are his brothers gonna come up? Because they're attached to this. What is Kelvin gonna say? Hey man, I was trying to break up that fight. So what? That's your brother, man. You was there and you got fucked up. Why am I signing you? See what I mean? See what I mean? Don't nobody care. So he got $5 million sitting in his account. right? Let's just say, I don't know how much he got. He could have 20 million in his account. I doubt he got that, but I don't know. So since we're talking about, because we had the troll in here talking about what he was referring to was he's more financially successful than I am. Okay? Let's just say he got 10 million. Let's say that, right? They paid out Edwin De Los Santos. I don't know. It could be possible. He could probably sue for breach of contract. I don't know. Maybe they paid him out to avoid that. I don't know. But okay, let's do away with that. They went in there and tried to jump old boy that whooped on his brother's ass last night. Old boy could say, yo, look, man, there's a threat against my life. I have psychological damage. That's going to cost you $3 million. And I want $3 million up front. And my lawyer's fees, you're going to have to pay that separate. Bam, that knocks him down to $5 million. Now, Bob Earl ain't going to want to deal with his black ass no more. Hopefully he didn't fuck off the turkey money. Where's he going to go? Eddie Hearn? Frank Warren? Who's going to want to gamble? Because it's a gamble. Who's going to want to gamble with this nonsense? Would you, $1 million corporation, gamble on the Davis clan right now? Would you do it? And while y'all think about that, matter of fact, let's just make that a poll. Start a poll. If you owned $1 million company, would you gamble on the Davis brothers? Let's put this on both my channels. Start poll. So I guess the troll is going to be the only knuckle dragger that'll say yes because he's a lost nigga. But you know, that's what lost niggas do. While I do that, let me read these super chats. I appreciate that, man. Now the 86 in that super chat, he says, salute Drew and salute to the mighty LDBC. Salute to you, brother. My brother Rod Neal, put that up there. My brother Rod Neal in that super chat, salute, brother. He says, you know it's sad when they bypass Monkey Tuesday. Bro, they bypass Monkey Tuesday, and I just started Simeon Saturday. That's not going to be like a permanent thing. But isn't it weird? Like I'm saying, God ain't wasting no time, man. He's not wasting no time. Ain't it weird how this shit is happening back to back? You know what was crazy? They had Tim Bradley talking about this stuff last night. Did y'all hear it? I'm like, man, this dude got some nerve. I was like, yo, God ain't wasting no time. But I know Brian Norman Sr. and Bill Haney, they're the bad guys, right? You listen, Abdullah Mason, salute to you and your daddy. I want to talk to him. That's the interview because he already knows what to expect. Because once Abdullah Mason starts catching fire, watch how you knuckle draggers start cutting him down. Oh, he was scared with Keyshawn. Yeah, he's scared of these dreadlocked, nappy-headed niggas running around in Norfolk with guns and stuff. They're thugs. Look what they did. Touch me and I'll sue. That's how you got to treat these niggas. I'll keep it real. You in jail, stupid. I'll keep it real. You blew millions of dollars, stupid. I'll keep it real. You ain't make weight, stupid. I'll keep it real. De Los Santos got paid and you didn't. And you had all these stars come out to come check you and you didn't even break a sweat in the ring because you were too fat to get on the goddamn scale. God damn it. I'm disappointed.
Monkey!
Anthony Latham in that super chat, much love. He said this weekend is a strong indicator to highlight the difference between men raised by a single mother and those who are raised by a father with structure. If this isn't a dinner bell as to why fathers are important, how ironic this is happening in June. How ironic. KBGJ in that super chat, much love. He said the Haney curse continues. Dumb Brothers 3, DB3. Hey, bro. Listen, I got a whole live coming on that Haney curse, bro. There's a lot of weird shit going on, and it's just lining up, bro. It's just lining up. Think about it. Could it be? Think about it. Think about what I'm saying. I'm looking around like, wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. Allah's a perfect planner. Main biker in that super chat, much love. He said, I interviewed him in 2018. My coworker know their moms. Oh, word? That's what's up. My brother, Felix Nunez, who was standing in the pocket for Edwin De Los Santos, and in my opinion, that should be a W on Edwin De Los Santos' record. Let's petition that. This dumbass can't make weight. Automatically, that should be a dub for Edwin De Los Santos. DR stand up. Yes. He said no excuses, but he does have mental health problems. Yeah, well, you know what? Here's the thing, Felix. Black people, we don't have that luxury. See, Ryan Garcia gets to have that luxury. I'm gonna say it one more time. Ryan Garcia gets to have that luxury. Only he can go on a racist tirade and talk about aliens and who killed Pac and Biggie and kids getting raped in the woods and how a 8-foot-tall Ben Wallace-looking black man raped them in the woods. And all I said was, hey, man, when all this was happening, where was Henry Garcia and his mama? Non-existent, like his mama cancer, right? See, he has that luxury. But this motherfucker, they're going to drag him. And I'm not here defending him. Nope. Because you don't need that. We don't need that. That wasn't an attack only on Fernando Vargas. That was an attack on all fathers. We don't need that. So you don't need me. I just said if I was there at that moment and I knew him, I'd have grabbed him with both hands like, brother, stop. 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 You're about to throw it all in the trash for what? Your ego? Help your brother get in the gym and get better. This is what you don't do. But there was no man around to help him do that. His own brother had to stop him. And then when he snapped out of it, boom. His kid was sitting there in a stroller, man. Are you kidding me? But I'm supposed to overlook all this, man. Mother F these dudes, man. I'm not doing it. Not my brothers. Nope. My brother Thomas in that super chat, much love. He said, what's crazy is I would have never saw this coming based off of multiple interactions with all DB3 and the other family members. And now that it all goes away, that all goes away after last night. I'm going to talk about it later. To be real, I'm embarrassed. It is embarrassing, bro. And y'all go subscribe to TD Sports Talk. This is embarrassing. This is what this live is about. This is embarrassing. I got to speak up on this shit because I'm a black man. But ask them how they feel about black fathers in general. You're going to hear nothing positive. All you're going to hear is, fuck them, I don't need them, I don't need them, I don't need them. But if you look in their eyes, you know what they're saying? Y'all remember that episode of Fresh Prince where he finally met his dad? And his dad broke out on him at the end? Why don't he want me, man? That's what all these three niggas, all those black men, that's how they feel. Why doesn't he want me, man? You know what y'all niggas never factor in? Your mama was a side chick and she was the problem. Hello. Y'all want to have that conversation. I know. My brother I-Rock in that super chat, much love. He said, check your text. Yes, sir. My brother. Delano, new member in the Strong House. Appreciate you, brother. I know I give you a hard time. You give me a hard time, but it's about the sport. I don't hate you, brother. I appreciate you. Much love. Todd French in that super chat salute. He says, I did 22 years in the Army. My man. VA and TRICARE Medical. I get disability and retirement. Thank God for my dad schooling me to hang in there. Hashtag best advice. Cook. Exactly. That's why nobody can shame me for what I do for a living. I've been in the system for goddamn 26 years. And I feel great. It goes like that, y'all. Y'all think time. See, when you're young, you think my pops always told me, time flies, man. You gonna turn around, you got gray on your face, he ain't lying. You'll be losing your hair, he ain't lying. I remember what I got for my 16th birthday. You know what I got? A bench press. I remember that. I was on a basketball course. My pops pulled up and said, yo, come on. So what you want for your birthday? I said, yeah, I don't know. Let's go to Modell's. You remember Modell's? I'm looking at this bench. He said, you want a bench? I said, you know what? Yeah, let me get that. And I got it. And that's how it started. Move. You can't shame no black man for doing right by his community, doing right by his family, doing right by himself. And you're absolutely right. There is no comparison to me and the Davis brothers. But to say he's more successful than me after what you saw last night, that tells me everything I need to know about you. I show control every day I go to work. Because y'all, a lot of y'all not even been to New York. You just heard stories. Now imagine all them crazy motherfuckers getting on your bus. Now let's see. Do I want to throw my pension and everything in the garbage because I'm macho? And I want to jump out my seat and beat somebody up because of something they said to me or about me? It doesn't matter. Or do I worry about that check I get every 2 weeks, which is substantial? Is it about me or is it about my family? Is it about me or is it about this car note? Is it about me or is it about my mortgage? So this is a grown man conversation. And when you come in here trolling, it's become abundantly clear that you are not qualified, not only to talk boxing with me, but to have an adult conversation with me. You're not qualified at all. I had a young ignorant nigga, I think that may have been him, I don't know. Ignorant nigga come in here, oh, you making money off talking down on black people. Well, he's probably watching right now. Can you explain this? Or are you gonna say, oh no, well, I don't know these niggas, I don't watch boxing. Oh yeah, well, this is what I'm talking about. I'm really not talking about boxing this morning. I'm talking about behavior, lack of control, lack of leadership, lack of fathers. By the women's choice, by the way. He didn't grape her. Whoever it is, she chose him. And like I said, Kelvin don't look like Keyshawn. That's just me. G tatted up TV in that super chat. Much love. He said new to the channel, but well spoken, bro. I salute you, brother. I know who you are. I seen you around, brother. Salute to you, brother. Welcome. Eric Jordan in that super chat. Much love. He said Davis Bros funk up the bag for Miguel Bukaki. You already know.
Bukaki. Hi, Miguel. Miguel.
My brother LBZ, no buck dancing, a loud talk. Go subscribe to my brother. Take a moment, go subscribe to my brother. Click on his name, go subscribe to my brother. He said the Russells live around the corner from me. My dad raised me after my mom died when I was 2. My dad never would have condoned this. Thank you. I couldn't imagine me. First of all, I wouldn't be in this situation. But in the event that my pops thought I was about to snap, the first thing he'd do was grab me and be like, motherfucker, what are you doing? And I'm gonna tell you something else that y'all don't respect. You ready for this? This goes for males and females. Y'all don't respect y'all last name. See, back in the day, when you did something fucked up in the street, and all of my, see, the South is different, and my roots are in the South. In New York, you know, these cities may be a little different. But if your parents have any coof about them, all right, listen carefully. Back in the day, if you did something messed up, and the neighbors saw it, you know what they would say? Oh, that's that Davis kid. Oh, those are them Davis boys. That's Ethel's boys right there. That's John's boys right there. And if your parents came home and you was effing up in the street and the neighbors told them, yo, man, your boy was running in the street and he threw a bottle at the ice cream truck and he was starting fights, you would get toe up if you had the correct parents. I go to work all day, scrub these floors, work for a boss I don't like, and all I ask you to do is behave, and you out here wilding out in the street, you got my last name. You better honor it. They ain't gonna be looking at me because I'm failing you. And that's what the ass whooping's about. They do it because they love you. And you're not honoring your last name. Now, being the black sheep is celebrated. You know what the other word for the black sheep is? That's the only person that's fucking up in the family. The black sheep is always the slouch, living in the house but doesn't have a job. Living in the house, eating up the food, doesn't have no money, but always finds weed to smoke. How's that happening? That costs money. You cats don't honor your parents' last name at all. You don't honor your family name at all. You don't like yourself, you don't like your family, so when you're 18, you get booted out. And all of a sudden, you on the street or you in and out of homes and your family is the ones that failed you. No, you was lazy. You chose to do it your way, but your parents tell you to do shit because they've been there and done that already. You have no discipline. And what we saw with these three monkeys was a lack of discipline. Now, where did their mother fail? Now, I would love to hear what their mother had to say. Because if she justifies this, I'm telling you, if she justifies this, like his fans are, some of his fans, you know exactly where it came from. Todd French back in that super chat, he said, facts, Drew, we don't get a pass. No lies, sir. Cook, I'm on the job. TD Harden in that super chat, he says, you're on the job, Titan is in full effect. Yes, sir. Freedom's March. My brother in that super chat, salute to you, good brother. Nada 86 just gifted 10 memberships and salute to you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. If you can choose who you're gifting memberships to, Nada, and I say this with all love, please make sure it's familiars, preferably wrenches and things like that. Because sometimes you could gift the op and it won't be your fault. It won't be your fault. It won't be your fault. But I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. But sometimes, because we had an issue a long time ago. Somebody gifted an op a membership, and we was like, how does this dude, come in here? Why is he talking crazy? Somebody gifted him a membership. It was like, oh, okay. And the person that gifted him, you didn't know. And now that you come in here, you support daily. I appreciate you. Let me be clear, y'all. Corey, what up? Where you been? Let me be clear, y'all. It's all love here. You don't need a wrench to kick it. Maybe I'll see you on the other channel. I just ain't have an opportunity to give it to you. But you just gotta be very careful. You don't have to look the donations and everything. You don't have to donate to kick it. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the Venmos, the Zelle, the Cash Apps, and Super Chats. I appreciate it. But y'all showing up is support. Also, I appreciate all of you. Thank you. I appreciate it. But salute to you, Nada. I appreciate you, man. For real. I really do. I really do. Thank you. Yeah, man. But the mama says, why am I in the... What do you mean? And you misspelled something, brother. What happened? Something happened? Oh, I don't. Retype that again. I didn't hear what you. I don't understand what you're saying, brother. Bench. You on the bench? What do you mean? I see you perfectly fine. I see you perfectly fine. You ain't get timed out or nothing like that. No. Oh, I see the memberships. No, you cool. Everything's cool. They're all wrenches. That's cool. That's cool. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Sure will, my brother. In that super chat, he said, our last names carried weight. It's an honor to bring respect to it. Back to the grill. Salute to you, good brother. Yes, sir. The Bay says, it's been trying to give you, what happens, the Bay, and I appreciate that, brother. If you want to donate, there's a Cash App down there if you have it. And you don't need to donate. That's fine. That's cool. But just to let you know, what they do is when I'm cooking on something that's real and it's actually supposed to shine a spotlight on the negativity in our community. And I use how other people in this realm of boxing get different treatment from the way they're about to treat Keyshawn. There's an entity called Miguel, who may or may not be Latino, who may or may not be homosexual, spooning his boyfriend on a futon somewhere in San Francisco with that flag, that is literally paid to watch what I do, right? And when I bring my community up by shining a spotlight on the negativity and say this is not a direct representation of us, he don't like that. When this video uploads, the dollar sign is going to be in yellow, and they're going to have to review it over the next couple of days, and then they'll tell me it's not suitable for all advertisers, in which I'll tell you, I don't care as long as this message gets out. Case in point, the live I did about Radio Raccoon, they said that that was not suitable for all advertisers, and all I did was shine a spotlight on the buffoonery and coonery. You understand? So I'm just letting all of y'all know, brothers and sisters, I appreciate your presence. You don't have to super chat to kick it. If you appreciate what I do, that's fine. I tell everybody, if you don't like what I do, you have options. Trolling is not an option. You see, I cut off the, you got to be subscribed for a few days before you say anything. And that's how you handle it. When you're a content creator, your best defense is that block button. And one thing YouTube has done, because they've listened to us, is you can design who comments. You can design who comments. That fool kept coming in here with multiple accounts, and some of those accounts was 2 or 3 days old. 2 or 3 days old. And you know why he was mad? I did what Trill Bill was on my live a couple of days ago, right? So I had some goon. Of course, he was some racist Latino. When Bill said they got some money for Tim Bradley, if he really want to fight Devin, you know, go look at the comment section in there. But then one dude said, oh, I'll fight Bill for free. All proceeds could go to a charity. Now, what the fuck did Bill Haney do to you that makes you want to fight him? You know how you handle Trill Bill if you don't like him? Whenever his face pops up on your timeline, you like, I don't know, don't watch the goddamn video. It's simple. Do you see me anywhere? Even when dudes have full-blown live streams about me, do you see me anywhere in the comment section fucking with them? No. People tell me, oh man, this guy sent you this. This guy was trying to troll me on one of my comment sections. So, you know, every now and again, I have to lab rat these guys. And I'm like, yo, what's your problem? He starts sending me links to several people talking about me with smiling and laughing emojis. I'm like, this video's 10 years old. Well, not 10 years. This video's 2 years old, 3 years old. This one was last month. Oh, this one was yesterday. This one's real good. So I have a fan base because none of those guys pull numbers like I do. One motherfucker say he got 110 subs, but when he clicks live, I know for a fact he only has 20 people in his live stream. I have under 10,000 subs. I'm live right now, and on my StreamYard, it said I had at one point I had over 320 people in my live stream. Feel me? So the math ain't mathing. Yeah, exactly. In Sports Prediction 101 is one of AKA Buster Nut Boxing. He's one of those niggas. He watches me, and I don't watch him. Thank you, Shelton. He just sent me a screenshot. This nigga just did a video about me 20 hours ago of me holding Radio Raccoon and Tim Bradley's feet to the flame. Now I'm talking about those coons, and he did a whole video about me. Now, let me see something. And I'm just using this as an example. That video got 20 views. So that means there's 20 people There's 20 people that actually give a shit about me. Because a day ago, he did an Errol Spence video, and that shit only got 60 views. So there's 40 more people. That means Errol Spence's name pops up in the algorithm. So they say, oh, this guy's talking about Errol Spence. Let's say maybe he has some news. So there's 40 less people that give a shit about me. Right? Then he got BFTB. 4 days ago, he said something about BFTB. That shit got 43 views. Oh my God. But this is the level of, and by the way, he's a nigger, by the way. And I know he's watching right now. He ain't got shit else to do. Let me give you some advice. Talk boxing. I'm sure there's something that you're good at that maybe you can monetize. It might not be boxing. Boxing might not be your lane. It might not. It might not. But you're so... Dude, you're out here defending Tim Bradley? That's what you're doing? I don't care if you're fair using my video or what I said and you're talking it up. Why are you talking about me? I am not the athlete. Remember, I'm a bus driver. Why are you talking about me? Why am I so important? Believe me when I tell you I'm not important. This subject is important. He doesn't qualify. Jay Good, my brother, salute, I see you. He doesn't qualify to talk about this. You know why? He's incapable. Now, if you go to that dude's channel, anytime an athlete did something fucked up, has he talked about it? Go to his channel and just put in Ryan Garcia and see what comes up. Did he call him? Did he call him out on his racist? Or did he call us out for calling out the racism? Every black content creator should have canceled Ryan Garcia and had nothing positive to say. But you know what these niggas did? They ran around and said, oh, the LDBC with fake outrage. That's what the niggas did. If you think I'm bullshitting, just do your own research. Do your own research. Same type of niggas that justify this behavior. They don't care what they're doing. There's a group of niggas talking about, yeah, Keyshawn kept it real. Not factoring in, you're going to have to help pay his bills. What's he going to do? Do a podcast now? That's where all the other athletes go. Yeah, Mr. Shelton, he said I have hate for Ryan Garcia. He's not lying, I do. Why doesn't he? Why doesn't he? I want to resurrect George Floyd, kill him again, and join the Ku Klux Klan. Fuck all niggers and Muslims. And he's worried about me hating Ryan. Nigga, why don't you? Huh? Watch this. When Tank fought Ryan Garcia, I was rooting for Tank. Top of my lungs. Stop playing with this kid. Yeah. Oh, he down, second round. Oh, body shot. Fight's over. Check my resume. You niggas were rooting for Ryan versus Devin. And then when y'all found out, y'all got y'all wish, y'all thought y'all did. And then when y'all found out this nigga cheated, y'all spent more time defending him than being black. So when I say y'all not my brothers and y'all a bunch of monkeys, yeah, exactly. I can justify everything that I say and do on here. Exactly, LVZ. Niggas blamed us for Ryan's racism. Oh, we only said that because, he said that because of what? If I don't feel no kind of way about you, D-Free salute. If I don't feel no kind of way about you, the last thing, if I get into it with you, the last thing in my brain is to attack your ethnicity. It's to attack your religion. Why would I do that? It's not in my heart. For Ryan to get intoxicated or high and for that to come out, that was in his heart the whole time, man. Henry Garcia. Oh, it's better to have a toupee than nappy hair. I speak at their facts. I'm like, what the fuck? Derek James and Bernard Hopkins sat right there, and I'm looking at them. I said, these niggas ain't gonna say anything, are they? I said, you know what? Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, shit. Y'all go ahead and read that. I wasn't even thinking that. You know why? Because I was so mad that these dudes did this to another black man. But you know what? They have a habit of turning up on niggas. Now, against Tiafimo's dad, hell, it got racist in there. And from what I heard, they gave him a warning. Stop that racist shit. And, you know, Tiafimo's dad, you know, allegedly high off the cocaine, got louder. And he got dealt with. That's the word I got. I wasn't there. I don't know. So what my brother D Free is saying is that they have a track record of doing shit like this. Now, this instance, there was a fair fight. Kelvin lost, and they had no business in his locker room, bro. Headbutting and fighting with the camp and everything else, and your baby's dangling. Come on, get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Snacks B, it's not the same, but it's not the same. But what D Free is saying, and I agree, is that they have a habit of behaving like this. Now they jumped on him and they said, well, he was being racist. Okay, so of course, me being a black man, I'm like, oh, okay, you know. Truth be told, he could have got sued back then. He could have got sued back then. They could have been like, yo, man, I could have said anything I want, but that didn't warrant you to jump over the rope and start whooping my ass. That's assault. MXC, salute. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Albright, yeah, he was all over the YouTube yesterday. He said Albright's promoter named Troy Isley in the locker room into action with Keyshawn and his younger brother. Is it worth it? Troy Isley was with the Davis. He was in the middle of this? Oh, please don't tell me he was in the middle of this, man. Not Troy, man. Damn, bro. Wait, is he? Am I reading this correctly? Or am I wait a minute. Troy was there? Oh, where you been, bro? Big ups to UK. Good to see you. I don't want Troy Isley nowhere near this situation, man. He's doing so well for himself, man. Had the pleasure of meeting him in Vegas. Troy was named? Oh, come on, man. Was he named just because he was standing there? Or was he mixing it up? Don't tell me he was mixing it up, because I actually watched the video, but I wasn't watching it because I was just like disgusted. Like, man, come on. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me click. Let me see what's doing there. Let me see. Wait, I can't see it. Wait a minute. What page you put that link on, Shelter? Put it on my boxing channel. I can't see it. Why can I not see it? Can't see nothing. Oh, wait, there you go. Wait. Let me see. Wait, hold on. Let me see. Oh, you stupid. Oh, I saw this yesterday. Oh, man. So Albright's brother had to get involved. Yeah. I mean, they had to protect him. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, Jai Patai came on mad late. Did he win? Sidebar, did Jai Patai win? Did Jai Patai win? Let's look that up real quick. I hope he did. Champ Side cooking on this, man. Come on, brother. Listen, you know how you know you in the. Yeah, he won. Good. I like Jai Patai. He's about that life. He's about that action. He broke dude's jaw. Oof. Hey, yo, how about that? I didn't speak about this. Yo, how about that Fabio Wardley fight yesterday? Man. Oh, Troy's the one in purple? Oh, man. Unbelievable. Yo, Fabio Wardley looked like he was ready to go like 4 times in that fight. I said, oh, boy, this don't look good. And he listen, that was a timed right hand. He showed some IQ. He just couldn't outbox. Now, listen, man. Listen, man, I'm going to get back to the topic, but I have to credit Fabio Wardley because, and he openly admitted, a pure boxer, you can clearly see he has a problem with. A boxer he is not. And I think he got into the game late too, but he displayed an IQ because he timed that right hand, bro. And what was dude's name? Hooney, who was whooping his ass the whole fight outside of the first round. He ate that, and bro, he tried to get up, man. I said, oh shit, fight over. And big up to Frank Warren, because who's the first name he said? Did he not make mention to Deontay Wilder? So what do we know about Fabio Wardley? He's not the greatest boxer, but my God, that was an IQ. That was an IQ, and that was a damn good punch. I know. I heard a lot about the count and how he should have been let to continue. I gotta go look at it again. I'm gonna go look at it again. I gotta go look at it again. But Hooney wasn't. He said the count was fast. Okay, I'll look at it again. But Hooney wasn't complaining, and I want to see Hooney again because he looked good, man. Was it a case that he looked good against a guy that couldn't box as well, or I don't know. But if I'm Frank Warren, I don't run that rematch back right away. You understand what I'm saying? Because he was about to win unanimous decision. If that don't happen, if he don't make that mistake. So yeah, salute to Wardley, man. That was good. RDR says you gotta wait. Wardley, dude came from white collar boxing and has made it as far as the pros. That right hand was quick, came from nowhere. And I respect that, RDR. You know what sucks, RDR? You can say that, and I agree with you, but we got Americans here that don't extend that same courtesy to Deontay Wilder. You see that? You see why I say UK fans are better? How many times you heard me say that? How many times you heard me say that? So I agree with RDR. And I agree with Fabio. I ain't got no beef with Fabio Wardley. And I think he was going to beat Jarrell Miller. Because Hooney couldn't do what Miller couldn't do with Hooney. Miller was going to walk forward and try and out-muscle him. And I believe it would have ended like how when he fought Daniel Dubois. So why is it that the brother RDR could come in here and tell the truth about Fabio Wardley? And I respect it and I agree with it. But we got knuckle draggers right here in America that don't extend the same courtesy to Deontay Wilder. The whole time we justifying Deontay Wilder's whole boxing career, who was we fighting with? See, the UK fans, I get it because AJ was the rival, Fury's the rival, I get it. But when it comes to these knuckle draggers here on our soil, it's atrocious. So salute RDR. And yes, UK fans are better. UK boxing fans are better than American boxing fans. I'll debate. Listen, I open up the panel. I'll have 3 UK fans and 3 American boxing fanatics. Fanatics, you heard my words, right? Fanatics. And I will have the American fanatics job defend American boxing from the UK, from the UK's, what's the word I'm looking for? Opinion on boxing. And I'll let the UK fans trash the American fans. I want the American fans to defend it. it'll be a wipeout, and I won't say a word. I'll just sit there and I'll let them go at it. Matter of fact, I'll say, Quiet Storm, salute, brother. I'll set that up. Y'all like to see that? I need 3 UK fanatics. And nothing's off limits. You could talk about Deontay. You could talk about how horrible he is. I'll let you do it. And I'll find 3 American fans. And I want you American fans to defend what the UK fans say about American boxing. And I won't say a word. And at the end of the stream, I'll be like, you see that? See? See that? See? You see what you did? I'll be talking to the Americans. Y'all see what you niggas did? See that? Because you know why? And it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. UK boxing fans know more, although they can be extreme and things of that nature. They know more about the sport as of right now today than any of these goddamn fanatics do on our soil right now. For example, if Keyshawn Davis was British, if these 3 dudes were British and they did this yesterday, and they worked for Queensberry, or they worked with Eddie Hearn in Matchroom, there would be some ignorant people saying, hey, man, that's good. But the majority would hold these motherfuckers' feet to the flame. I bet you they would. These dudes lack accountability like a single mom, don't they? And when I talk about fanatics, the same fanatics that come in here and try and troll, I bet you whoever that nigga was, I put him on a panel and say, match switch with the UK. Forget me for a minute, but match switch with the UK. And while the UK person will get on here and start trashing American boxing and trashing all of our champions and trashing our past, our present, and our future, and this right here with Keyshawn Davis, this is just one more motherfucking thing, one more bullet they could put in the magazine to shoot at us, because we can't defend it. And you'll hear the ignorant nigga come on here and say, yeah, but you know, he young. And let me remind y'all, Keyshawn Davis is about to catch more hell than Ryan Garcia. And I'm going to say this. Keyshawn, this was an assault. He may have blown some money, but he didn't assault anybody's ethnicity. He's not on drugs that we know about. Oh, I'm sorry. When you smoke marijuana, that led to a no contest. Ryan Garcia was running around smoking weed. Of course, it was in legal states, but you know, weed is a masking agent. Feel me? If his mom's was really about that life behind the scenes, no, fuck that. No, fuck that behind the scenes shit. How many of y'all in the chat fucked up in the street and one of your parents had to come out and tune you up outside in front of all your friends? That ever happened to you? It's never happened to me, but I have a bunch of friends that's happened too. Thomas, you in the chat? My brother Thomas, you in the chat? Let me know you in the chat, because I'm about to share a story, because you know this dude. And let me tell y'all, it's not exclusive to black people. My Puerto Rican friends, my Panamanian friends, my Asian friends. You know what I'm saying? Thomas, this nigga Rob. Hey, bro. Back in the day, we was in the sandbox. They don't have sandboxes no more because they're like very unsanitary. But Rob was a troublemaker, bro. He was always a troublemaker, right? And we was in the sandbox, you know, jumping off the equipment. It was crazy, right? And Rob, his mom would call for him out the window or off the balcony. And and one day he just ignored her. He was like, yo, you don't hear your mom calling you? Robert! And it would echo. He's like, I don't want to go upstairs. He's like, yo, I think you better, his mom's ain't no joke. He's like, I think you better go upstairs, man. I'll go upstairs when I feel like it. So we were just chilling. And I don't know where she came from. Because there was like a lot of, the way where I lived, the way things were set up, they made it look like a little jungle. You know what I'm saying? She came out those bushes from beyond those trees. And like she was stalking us like a tiger stalks its prey. We didn't even see her, but she had to been watching him for a good 10 minutes. And she came from out those bushes. His back was turned, and you had to see this woman. Our eyes got big, and then he stopped and looked at us and said, what's wrong? And it's like he knew. And before we said anything, I ain't never see Rob get his ass beat like that. I seen him have fights in the street. I've never seen him. When you get beaten to the fetal position, it's over. And then she packed him up and grabbed him by his belt and picked him up and walked off like a suitcase, because he was always smaller than us. He was like in a ball, like in the fetal position, and walked off. And you know, black mother's mad when she's beating your ass and cursing you out, and every hit, every consonant, every vowel is a hit. Did not tell you to bring your ass upstairs, you little motherfucker. Get us ready, and you didn't wash those motherfuckers. I told you I work all day long. And we sitting there in shock. And when she was done, she picked him up and turned around and looked at us and told us to go upstairs. We didn't do nothing. She said, y'all take y'all asses home. You know we went home, right? I walked in the door. My mom was like, what you doing in the house? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. She scared the shit out of me. I was like, she said, what you doing here? I don't know. The sun was still up. Whooped his ass, looked at us, and said, y'all take y'all asses home. We left. I was like, I'll see you later. I walked all the way home, got upstairs. My mom was like, what you doing in the house? I was like, I don't know. I didn't do anything. She said, you did something. What you in the house? Man. Went back outside. My mom sent me back outside, but the OG said go upstairs. So the other OG, my mother, had been like, no, go back outside. They know what happened. Because all the parents, while they going to work, they all cross each other's paths going to work, going to the bus, going to the car. All the parents knew each other. And my boy, his mom was a single mom. But like I said, it was the village. My pops always asked about Rob. My other boys, their fathers always asked about Rob. And they used to tell us, yo, Rob's a little touched. You got to be careful. He's a little wild. Thomas, no. But there was a lot of things that he was kept from doing because my pop said, yeah, don't do that. I see you. And he straightened up. The village. Did the village fail Tank Davis? I mean, I don't know. That man touched $1 million and then decides he wants to get a criminal record. Yeah, Rob's my guy. Thomas, I just saw Rob 2 days ago. But he was a wild boy. And I'm telling you, by the time you met him, it was more calm. He was wild before that. I mean, jumping out windows for no reason wild. I'm like, why would you do? Man, I just want to see if I can lay. Dude, calm the fuck down. And there was one wilder than him. I already told y'all. My other boy, he was just, oof. Crazy stuff. That's what I'm saying. Tank Davis touched the mill, then he wants to start catching cases. What's that? And now he talks about his fellow brothers and sisters is ridiculous. So now you got this Davis shit. Big old contract, you willing to fight everybody, now you're not making weight, you're getting caught with marijuana and Now you jumping people in the locker room, man? Man, get out your own fucking way, man. This is ridiculous, man. Salute, brothers and sisters. Salute, Copper, man. I'm going to get out of here. I gave y'all 2 hours, and I want to go hear what Champ's Eye has to say. Champ's Eye is on live right now. Do I respect the Davis brothers and what they did? No. Do you monkeys who agree with this behavior like what I'm saying? No. Of course you don't. You know why? To say that he's more successful than me is to hate yourself and hate your daddy. Now watch this. Bill and Deb are more successful than your punk ass. I wasn't gonna do a show today, but I had to speak on this. And shout out to Fabio Wardley. Shout out to Abdullah Mason and that whole clan. Shout out to the Russells. Shout out to Shane Mosley and Jack Mosley. Shout out to Julio Cesar Chavez. You tried, bro. You tried. You did the best you could. You know, shout out to Roy Jones Jr. and his dad. I know their relationship was rocky, but they patched it up. Shout out to Brian Norman Jr. and Sr. Shout out to Father's Day. It's not mothers who say they're fathers. Father's Day. We move the world. And salute to my weird ass stalkers.
Hello, monkeys.
Yeah, I can't hold my candlestick. Pray for these kids. Seriously. I'm rough on them because I love them. But not unconditionally. I love you enough to let you go. I love you enough to let you go. Because this is not a representation of me or what I do or how I move at all. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
All my troubles come more nigga. Yeah, it makes me mad. Why you niggas are so against somebody for you?
How much longer do you think your mom
makes me so mad. Long enough to beat your ass if you fuck up. That's right. You might not get out of the stadium tonight. You gotta be cool because you've been watched.